Really don't. I love those two kids. I love the entire unit right now. I think the development at this position is extraordinary. I think it's because we've had great players here. You know, Bradley was AFC Defensive Player of the Week this week. You know, Eli was back last week, and so we've got a really nice little progression going in our room, and those guys understand what it takes. They've seen what it takes, and they're just following the lead of others, and we've got a good group of guys.
And when I think people probably expected Gary on to be there, but for Marshawn so quickly to be in, and I know the conversation's just conversation, Brandon, we regard it that way. Did you expect that of him when he finally got the chance to play?
We knew when Marshawn was fully healthy, he was going to be one of the better players around, and he's certainly proven that.
Kerry, what kind of conversations have you had with Damon Arnett? I mean, it was some growing pains last week, obviously going against a very tough receiver. How do you think he did? I mean, you saw the tape, we didn't. Right. And what did you say to him?
Well, we got to get better. You know, I mean, those are challenging throws and challenging positions for a guy to come in on third down and play over and over again is a hard thing to do. He didn't have his best game. There's no doubt about that. He knows that. We know that. Had a great conversation with him. I can tell you this: he will be better, and I'm looking forward to watching him play.
And how much of a test is this going to be this week, facing the same kind of receivers, or at least very good receivers?
Every week that you go out there and play nickel in college football is a test. He's going to be tested every week that he plays, and he'll pass the test.
And the pro game now, they I mean, it's like the program now. A lot of colleges are trying to get that slot guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
well, in the slot corner, I mean, that's what
right.
Bradley plays.
Right.
That's become, it used to be called nickel, now it's slot corner.
Right.
Those are corners that have to play man-to-man coverage, have to play a lot of roles, and that's a critical position.
Hey, Kerry, you're like the Ohio State plant flagger?
Flag planter.
Thanks. I don't know that I have that official title, but I do like to plant those flags.
Wow. You do like to plant flags in Detroit.
Yes, I do. Well, everywhere.
You guys had a really good run up in that city. Not that it's over, but
Thanks.
At the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of your tenure, because Michigan was kind of down, I was just wondering, now that things have changed with Jim Harbaugh and some of the main high schools there probably have a bigger Michigan presence because of the success they're having, how it might have changed your feeling when you're up there. Is it harder? Is it different now that Michigan's doing what it's doing?
No difference. We're recruiting our socks off up there. We're going to get a few players every year for that state, and we're going to recruit really hard. They're doing a good job, but the previous staff was really good recruiters, and so we're going to work really hard in that state because it's geographically convenient. They play great football up there, and there'll be some players that'll make their way south.
Kerry, you have such a deep foundation in the high school game. What do you think about the Big Ten playing games on Friday nights?
It's not my business. You know, Friday nights are high school football in Ohio, and they have been for a long, long time. And those are decisions other people make, and you know, it is what it is.
Coach, you're going to be taking on an offense that rivals your offense in time of possession each week. So how important is it to get these guys off the field early, really put some pressure on their corners so the defensive line can go to work on a guy?
I don't think there's any
Armstrong
question
Jr.
that field position, in games like this, time possession, field position, all those things are going to be critical. It's two really, really good teams, two top 10 teams playing in a big game and a big environment. So it's imperative that our defense wins first down, that we have as many 3 and outs as we can, get the ball back in the hands of our offense, play great special teams, give both our offense and defense great starting field position each time they go out there on the field. And that's been a focus all week for our group.
Kerry, can I ask one quickie?
Yeah.
You see this guy from a different perspective as a coaching standpoint, but Noah Brown, what have you seen definitely improve about him from beginning of the year until now? Because you see him in practice. I mean,
well, the way we go about it in our practices between the corners and the receivers, it is a war every day.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Thomas and Eli Apple would almost be in fistfights. Well, Noah has kind of taken on the demeanor of the receiver group, and our guys are going to compete with them. We're going to play really hard, and I think it helps both of us on Saturday afternoons. So Noah, I think, at the top of his routes has really had tremendous improvement, snapping his routes off, getting his head around, getting the ball caught. He's got tremendous hands, but you got to be open, and he's done a great job at the top of routes, finding space and creating separation from the corners.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.
Sure.
Thanks, Coach.